Dhirendra, we have a very interesting question, and I followed this up because it's about the PF and the PPF as well. Venkat Tata has written in. He says, the advice you give on the show about not investing in the PPF, if you have the EPF, cannot be applied universally. He says, because on retirement, the whole amount that comes out of the PPF is tax-free, unlike fixed deposits where you'll have to pay income tax. And, you know, there is no other accumulation, he says, that's tax-free right now. He has another question about investing in his wife's name, but I want to first target this, and I want to remind all of our viewers who might be under the impression that the PPF gives you a guaranteed return. The return or the interest that the PPF generates is set every year by the government based on the bond yields of the government bonds. It is not set at 8.7% right through the next 15 years. And that you should remember when you're making that choice. But Dhirendra, clarify one more time. He says it's not going to be, fixed deposits not going to be tax-free at the end of 15 years. So why should he choose it? Why isn't the PPF the best option right now?
If you are saving for your long term, which PPF is, then it is not a wise thing because, of course, the return from PPF is tax-free. But so is your accumulation in equity fund. That is also absolutely tax-free. That apart, I don't think there is any question about the safety of PPF. Something offered by Government of India through National Savings Organization is absolutely safe. You can't get better safety than this. But I think, on a 20-year, 15-year time frame, regular investing in equity, even in the lousiest fund, generates more return. In fact, the worst fund in India was able to generate more return than PPF on a 15-year basis. That apart, the ability for investors, ability of investors to participate in market-linked investment through mutual funds or other vehicles, whether it be a NPS, was just not there 20 years back. Today, that is not the case. So I think, it is, the world is different. The inflation situation is different. The options are far too many. And if you are approaching it in a measured way, in a calibrated way, and if you're disciplined about it, you will be substantially better off compared to a PPF.
All right, so we hope that answers your question. Dhirendra, he has one more question for you. He says his wife has no income right now. She's a homemaker. So he wants to know what the best option is to invest in her name, because she has no taxable income at this point. He says what he's doing right now is that he's investing money in her name, in tax-free bonds. The returns that the tax-free bonds generate are going into non-convertible debentures. And when his wife hits retirement, he plans to move that money into a senior citizen savings scheme in her name as well. He wants to know if you think his strategy is right. It seems a little complicated to me, but is this the way to go?
No, it is complicated and unnecessary. Because, all income in this country is taxed when you actually earn it. And if this is transferring of, assets, transferring of his assets in his wife's name, it was taxed in the first place, and subsequently long-term investment can be made in his name or jointly with his wife's name in a manner that it will generate, tax-free income or tax-free appreciation. And just transferring this asset so that it generates income, if he is investing in his name, the amount in tax-free bond, the return from those bonds will be tax-free, whether it is in his name or his wife's name, doesn't matter. So all this financial engineering is not going to help him. Keep it simple. Maybe have your wife's name as a joint holder. Maybe to a limited extent it will help to have the deposit, because interest income to a certain limit, to a certain extent, is tax-free in individuals. So you will get the beneficial and the benefit of splitting it in another account, the interest income. But for just transferring the assets in another person's name to get a tax break will not work beyond a point.